Hey y'all, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and today I'm not doing photography as much, although in a little while I'll probably go to downtown and shoot a little street toward the end of the video. But for right now, I'm going to fix this 20-year-old screen and make it look like a new one. I have the stuff and the technology, and I'm just going to give y'all like a little time lapse of me fixing it. First thing you're going to need is one of these little widgets. One side's got a groove, one side doesn't. I find that the groove side works really well for pushing the beading down in the edges of the frame. You're going to need a pack of this beading, and it's just rubber tubing, and it mashes down in the screen. They even show what's going on with it right there. And then you need some screen wire. Mine's fiberglass based, so it's non-metallic, but it works really well. I've already done one of these, so this will be a repeat of the last one. I'm going to set you guys up on the counter, and I'm just going to do a kind of a time lapse of what's going on here so that you can see what's happening. First of all, the floor needs to be clean, so let's sweep the floor. If you have a machine shop, never ever sweep the dirt out the door, because then it puts it in your driveway. What do you make in a machine shop? You make little metal filings, little chips as they call it. They're very sharp. Guess what else is in your driveway? Your car tires. Not a good mixture. Always sweep the chips into the shop and sweep them up. First order of business is get the old screen out. Now we'll sweep the floor again. I find it easier to put this on with a utility knife than scissors. You want it kind of square so the grid on the string wire looks right. And I'm going to pick this side and start with it because it's lined up pretty good. You want just a couple of squares overlap. Then you get your little edging out. And you just cut you off a piece. Don't want them to overlap in the corners, so I'm going to cut it off. Repairing a screen isn't this dark magic that the hardware store is going to lead you to believe. Now, to keep it stretched out straight, I'm going to pull this side over and I'm going to do this side next. That way I'm working out from a corner. You see why it's good to do it on a concrete floor now. These little things lay in the tracks. I'm going to just lay them in like this. Right there. They make putting the little beading in very difficult. Now, in theory, we should be able to just cut this like this. Another reason to get fiberglass screen instead of metal, you can cut it with a utility knife. And just like that, the screen is fixed. It's done. Now that we've got our chore done for the day, let's go shoot some street photography. Well, I've made it down here to Memo's grill. I got all sorts of, woo, excuse me, sir. Not paying attention. About got run over by a bicycle. But I'm down here at Douglas Street. My goal is to walk under the railroad trestle, see if I can get some decent photos of it, and just maybe some street photos along the way. There ain't many people out today. It started out real cold this morning, but it's warmed up considerably. But now, there just ain't hardly anybody out. And then just a few people wandering back and forth, but nothing of any serious significance. Having to look hard, I mean, like nothing. Nothing to see. Oh well, let's see what I can find. This is the train trestle that crosses 9th Street, Martin Luther King, and now we're going under it. They've got room for a rail here, but no rail on it. So there's one rail. I've never walked under this bridge. This is the first time ever. Just one rail on it too. It's got the capacity for 3, and they only built 1. I have lived around here all my life. I've driven down this road I don't know how many times, and I've never noticed this park. Literally, walk down the street, and the first time you walk down through here, you see it. Literally, Whiteside Park, city of Chattanooga. Man, it's windy, and it's fairly cool, so the wind stings a little bit. But yeah, there's a big old nice park here. I didn't know that she died in a car wreck. I knew a lot of the stuff on this street was named after her. There's an art building center, or whatever you call it, down at the other end of MLK that's named after her. Here's an interesting little factoid. You see this right here? That's the fireplace and the flue and the chimney from basically a building that used to be connected to this one that's no longer here. And you can see those are all chimneys, every one of them. That one, this one back here. And now they've tore down the old structure that's now gone. But yeah, they left enough of this one. You can tell there used to be a building here because that was the fireplace. I've been shooting most of what I've been doing today at f8, and I've been setting the hyperfocal distance on one marker at infinity, and it drops the other side in at about 15 feet. So I don't really have to mess with focus. I just point and shoot if it's over 15 feet away. And I've only taken a few photos closer than that where I actually had to focus. But then I just put the camera right back on the infinity marker and call it good. If you're gonna actually shoot street photography regularly, you either need to pick a manual focus lens or an autofocus lens. I say that because if you shoot autofocus, you get used to the autofocus being available. And if you're gonna shoot manual focus and you start using autofocus glass, it gets in the way. I have found for me that I get by just fine if I just shoot manual focus all the time. The photos come out great for my uses. Some people want that razor crispness and the big apertures, but during the bright sunny days like today, you gotta stop it down. I mean, if you don't, everything's gonna be blown out anyway, or run 1/1,000,000th of a second shutter speed to make up for it. That's what I've been running so far, and I've gotten quite a few interesting photos. I'm looking for a specific one for a photo project I'm working on. And I found one, and it's okay, but I'm wanting a very specific image, and I'm kind of looking for it at this point. So we're going down the road here. We're about 2/3 of the way back to the car now. So we'll head on back down the street, see what else we can find. Maybe I'll get that magic photo. Well, true to form, I failed to film the outro in Chattanooga. So, with that, this is David, the Georgia photographer, saying, until next time, get your camera out and go take a picture with it, all right? We'll see you later. Bye-bye.